Help us out and support us over on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/WPwatercooler. We're going to add your name at the bottom there. I'm Jason Tucker, and I'm an IT director and web developer. Find me over at Jason Tucker on Twitter. This is my friend and co-host, Bridget Willard. She's a marketing consultant. You can find her at You Too Can Be a Guru. And our guest today is Amy Hall, email marketing strategy and MailChimp expert. You can find her at Genuine Amy Hall on Twitter. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi, Amy. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
You always have the best earrings.
Oh, thanks. I got these with my sisters. In Rome.
How about you, Bridget? Let's make sure we go around the room here and make everybody.
I always just wear my same gold hoops. I just don't take them out. If I do, everybody's like, "Oh, are you going on a date?" No, I'm not going on a date.
I have one.
Oh,
and I've always had one.
Yeah, that's true. So now that I'm sorry, but that picture of you was so great. I was like, damn, I love those earrings. So, but here's the real news. Like, I was talking to somebody. They're like, I have all these email. I literally talked to a consulting client who wanted to hire me, Amy. He has 50,000 emails, and he's never sent an email.
Wait, how old is this list? Wait, how long has he been gathering emails?
I think he said 4 years.
Oh, and he's never sent in 4 years?
Right.
Oh.
My word.
Right. Okay. So I'm like, I know enough that Amy needs to be on the show. And maybe we should talk about what this is. I learned a new word, stale, when it comes to email, because I know stale bread. Stale bread is what you make French toast with. Or croutons. You're not supposed to feed the animals anymore. But like, that's it. That's all you got. But still, email and list management, I mean, we thought the list was supposed to be big. So first of all, can you just tell us, like, what does still mean when it comes to email marketing?
So probably that list is pretty stale just because it hasn't been used at all. So now email addresses go bad. People move just like they move their house. They move their email address. I don't know about you, but I probably have 6 email addresses and I don't check all of them every single day. So yeah, that's what a stale email address. It's one that just hasn't been used. So, and a lot of corporations like Gmail, Yahoo, MailChimp, GetResponse, ConvertKit, they actually will plant those email addresses on like buying lists, and then they check when you add a list, they check it for those planted email lists to see if you're using.
Wait.
It's called a spam trap.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like a honey trap, but wait. So if you buy an email list, you could be wasting your money.
No, if you buy an email list, you are wasting your money. Not could be. Yes, you are. Because number one, people have not subscribed to your list. They subscribe to something and now somebody's selling it. So yeah, no.
So are you talking about like if someone were to make like an like either like a Gmail account where they use like the plus sign trick where they'll put the plus after the first part of their email and then put in like Bridget's email list, and then when the email gets sent out, they know it's coming from them. But then if that gets sold to Jason, and now Jason looks at it and he sees the email and he sends off the email, that person goes, "Who's Jason? Why did Jason send this?" Is it like that sort of thing, or is it just like a separate account that they set up that they use to test it?
What a lot of times they'll do is they'll go find old accounts that don't get used very often.
Oh,
And
I
they
see.
will track them.
Oh.
So I have a super old account that I've had for 15 years. No, more than that. But almost 16 years. And I'm sure that it's going to be considered a spam trap.
Because
just because it's old.
Because you don't regularly email from it, or?
I don't email from it at all anymore. I just receive emails there. But it's just, if a email address is old, MailChimp assumes that it's not good.
Oh, okay.
If you clean it, like through a service, the service assumes that it's not good also. So I'm pretty sure that Gmail's going to assume that it's not good also.
Wow.
And they know how old the email address is.
Wow.
I wonder how that works. Like, I'm on the technology side. I'm gonna have to do some research and figure out, like, how does that part of it work?
Right? It has to be some kind of.
It's not like there's a born on date for an email address, but
well, maybe there's a blacklist.
There could be a collective.
There is a born on date for an email list.
Oh no, for an email address. Like if
There
I just
is a born on date for an email address. What date you create that email address? That's a born on date.
Yeah, but I don't throw a party for it and then send out invitations so everybody knows what day it was created.
No, but Gmail knows, and MailChimp can look in and see those credentials, and they'll know.
Huh.
Okay, so what about like
it's my really old email address is a Hotmail email address, so you know it's old. If you have AOL and Earthlink, you know it's old.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
And you can assume the age of the person that has that, right?
Yeah, because for a couple of things going on here in my brain, and Jason's still like trying to figure out the technology of it. I
am right now.
He's gonna build a script while we're talking. So, when I was at the travel agency, we were buying physical mailing address from Nielsen's. And then we wanted to track or get the email addresses from that. And even though I said, you can't do it with ICANN spam laws, like she was doing it anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
But then I knew that, listen, back when I was Republican, which I am no longer registered as a Republican, just so everybody knows. I'm also no longer blonde, and I also don't wear glasses anymore. Not
without your glasses.
I know my eyes are all puffy. My face is all puffy. I can't wear eye makeup for 5 days. But here's the thing, Amy. Like, I subscribed to Newt Gingrich because he was the one I liked. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all these emails from people I never subscribed to. But because I use Gidgey at blah, 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 .com, it didn't fall into that trap. Because my email is used, because I use that email?
It could be a spam trap. Like, I can't tell you what a spam trap. I couldn't tell you if your email address is a spam trap. They just use them for that.
Okay, but I guess what I'm saying is, if people buy a list and your active email is on that list, then they can still email you.
No, so the thing about it is people can email you once to comply with CAN spam. They can email you once.
Oh, okay.
After that, it has to be opted in.
Okay.
But like with the Newt Gingrich thing, he got the list from, the Republicans, whatever. A lot of realtors do this. They get the list from the board. And it's assumed that when you, as a realtor, when you give your list to the realtor board, Sandy Carr down here in San Diego, that they're going to give your email address out. But after one email, if people keep on emailing you and you didn't opt in, they didn't ask you to opt in, that's when you can say it's spam.
Aha.
But I mean, you can say it's spam after one, because everybody has that spam button. Everybody should use it liberally.
You mean in your actual email
reader?
Client?
Yeah, in the client.
I don't call it a client. I call it a reader, because people get super confused as to what's an email client. So I call it your email reader.
Okay.
Where you read your emails at. It's the technical term is email client, though. But
sorry, I just hang out with you.
These people are not going to Google anything. They're not going to look for the answers. It's okay.
Well, no, usually people just ask me, what the heck is that? So that's why I stopped.
So what are the tactics that someone who has a good list should be using to stay out of somebody's spam box? Like what's their best way to kind of make sure that they're crafting their emails correctly and they're putting all their stuff together? Like what are those tips that you should be following to make that happen?
So the first one has nothing to do with email.
Oh, good.
It has nothing to do with the email that you're building. It has to do with your own email address.
Oh.
So you need to authenticate your domain name with your email service provider. Right? So
like that.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Like DKIM or
no, wait, we haven't gone there yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry. I'm still researching how to figure out when the board on date of an email is, so I'll let you talk.
All right. So MailChimp, Constant Contact, ConvertKit will allow you to authenticate your domain name with them, so it looks like they're sending as you instead of masking it as your email address. So you're going to put a little snippet of text code on your DNS, so it looks like it's sending from you. Then the second thing to do is the DKIM, DMARC, and SPF records. DKIM, that's not how you say it. It's DKIM. I always say it wrong.
How do you
I say GIF, so I can say it however I want.
You say GIF?
Heck yeah, I do.
GIF?
It's a GIF.
It's a GIF.
Graphic. I know the guy who made it says it's a GIF because he likes that peanut butter, but
whatever. So can you, for the people that don't know what DKIM is, it's a French version of DKIM. What are the letters for the show notes?
Oh my goodness, DKIM.
DK.
And you're gonna ask me. So,
domain.
Yeah, I don't know what it stands
mail
for, but it stands for some kind of verification. You put the DKIM records on your DNS, the DMARC, the DKIM, and the SPF. Oh, dang, that was good. They all go on your DNS, your domain name server. So the same place that you're putting that little bit of text code for your email provider, you're doing that with DKIM, DKIM, SPF, and DMARC.
And SPF isn't for sunscreen.
No.
Dude, you are super fast.
This is why he has the show.
I know how to Google. I know how to Google.
I better Google.
Which is funny because like even these types of things like this, like domain keys, identified mail, like that doesn't mean anything to anybody. But
mean anything to me.
It does.
And the thing is that like these developers and these people that come up with these different frameworks and these different ways of doing these things, they're not good at naming anything.
Okay, because they're not marketers. But those 3 acronyms is why I'm hiring Amy to build my drip. Okay,
right? Exactly.
I can't even with DNS. You say DNS, I'm out. Yeah. So okay, that was number 2. What's the third one?
Okay, well, let me tell you what the DKIM.
Okay.
And the SPF and the DMARC do they let the inbox know that your email address is a real email address. It's coming from your real domain and it's not being spoofed. So that's how it keeps things out of the spam box, because all of a sudden Gmail knows, oh, this is a valid, real email address from a valid, real email or domain name and person. So you're going to get the email platform authentication so that it looks like it's sending from you, and then you're going to make your email address safe so it doesn't end up in the spam box that way.
Bridget, if you're wondering, this is the last one.
Oh, DMARC. Okay.
Yeah.
DMARC.
Well, just for when I do the show notes, like
Yep. And
because
people might want to know. So yeah.
And also, when the translator, the auto translator, whichever service Jason's using today, is translating, it's not going to know that. So I can't trust that either.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Amy, I've seen a lot of clients of mine who are just starting out with things where they don't even know that these things need to be in there, and they go and send off an email. Can you explain what happens when you don't have these records set up appropriately and you go and send off an email?
And even better, they'll send their email from MailChimp from a Gmail email address.
Uh-huh.
I do that.
What?
I love it.
No, I know we've talked about this, Missy.
What? I don't even have. What do you? Oh shit!
You have BridgetWillard.com. Just get a BridgetWillard.com email address.
I don't even know how to do that. Damn it! I'll figure it out.
Well, you get it from your hosting provider, so.
No, because my hosting provider doesn't do email. Pressable doesn't do email.
Oh, so you get it from your domain name provider.
Domain name. Okay, so name secure. Damn it. I don't want a bunch of emails.
But here's the thing. You can have a 50% open rate of the emails that are getting delivered. So
you're saying I'm at risk for not even being delivered because it's not coming from at BridgetWillard.com.
Yes, because Gmail doesn't trust Gmail.
Gmail doesn't trust Gmail?
No,
that
because
sounds like an internal.
Come from Gmail.
Look in your spam box. What are all the spam email addresses?
Hotmail?
No, they're Gmail.
God dang it.
I
hate it when we have guests on the show.
Bridget, I love it when we have guests on the show that have this type of thing, because what it shows is that even the people that are in the know, there's still something that they need to know.
Well, that's
why
okay. I don't do this.
That's okay.
So clearly I need to do all these steps because I'm doing it all backwards.
Yep.
You have a great open rate, so there you go. What you're getting delivered is getting open.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm not getting delivered because it's from Gmail.
Well, and when you have that, yes. So when you have that domain name, when you have it authenticated, that's going to get it delivered into the general email inbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not the right folder.
Right.
And when you get the DICM, the DMARC, and the SPF, that's going to tell Gmail and Yahoo and Hotmail to wait, no, well, wait. To put it into the inbox instead of the spam folder.
Uh-huh.
So that's why, and you can get your developer to do that for you because they're in your domain. What?
Don't tell her that, because that's me.
I could go to namesecure.com and make an email. I just have to figure out how to make it go to my Gmail site. I'm not going all over the planet.
I have everything going to my Gmail.
I thought it would be so much easier, and I even paid for the G Suite and everything.
Seriously.
So clearly, even
if you paid for G Suite, if you paid for G Suite, then that's even better. Yeah. You're good.
Oh man, I just feel so dumb right now. But clearly, my head just went wah.
But you know what? Amy's looking at this and looking at this problem, saying, "I deal with this stuff all the time. This is a new person with a new list and a new everything, and they don't know what to do." And that's what I love about the show is we could actually be the client that is going like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?"
No. And this is why I don't do email marketing. I'll write the copy for you and send it to you in a Google Doc, and that's it. And this is what I always tell people. The more I talk to Amy and other people like Jen Miller,
yep,
email marketing is very technical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. If you think about it, an email is a mini website, right?
I love that. That's a great tweet.
So you have to have all the accessibility on an email that you have on a website. The thing about email is it's not inherently accessible unless you're using a text email. But HTML emails are not inherently accessible. You have to put the alt tags. Most people do not put any alt tags in their emails. And there's no ARIA labeling in an email. So you've got to be able to add that in. And on top of that, more and more of our emails are being read on our phones, on Alexa.
Yep.
Yeah, on Google Home. So, now we need to have that type of labeling so that they know what's there so that they can read it to the person. So yeah, it gets more and more. It's just like building a website, honestly.
Wow.
And people don't see it as that important, but you're thinking emails can get you so many dollars when you're sending emails and advertising purchases. Or buy this, if you're not just pimping to buy stuff. But when you're advertising with your emails, you get a better purchase rate than like social media, right? And you have a captive audience. They've already asked you to market to them. So they want to know what you're selling, because part of the reason why they asked you to market to them was because they like your stuff, right? And so you can, sell in your emails.
Okay, sell in your emails.
And make them accessible so that people can actually buy what you have to sell. Make it a little menu. Think of it as a little mini website. Exactly.
The accessibility thing is interesting, especially when you get into using something like Alexa or any of those types of services, is that you don't have those call to actions that you can click on and do things with. It's actually less accessible because of that, because you can't go and say like, okay, now lady in the tube, I also want you to push that button that's at the bottom of there. It's not that one, it's not this other one, it's not this other one. Like you can't do that. So that makes it even more difficult, because it's like, okay, how do you structure that email? So we're gonna have to have Amy back to explain how that part of it works, because I would love to hear a little bit more about that side of it. So keeping out of that, is there some stuff you need to worry about with the content of the email to make sure you're not going to get, thrown into the spam box?
So I don't even worry about email content. Yeah, don't send phrases that you would use on a sales circular, but I worry about the quality of my list more, because it's just like a website. If you get traffic, you can if you have traffic, you can get more traffic. So if you have opens, you can get more opens. If you get delivered in the inbox, you'll get delivered into the inbox more, right? So you need to clean your list on a regular basis. And if somebody hasn't opened in the last 6-9 months, send a re-engagement email and ask them to take an action to remain on the list. Don't just tell them, oh, if you don't want to be here, unsubscribe. Ask them to take an action. And that's easy to do with, because I'm a MailChimp expert, so I do it with MailChimp. If you do an automation, I do 3 emails over 3 weeks for a re-engagement campaign. And I actually have them click a button, which takes them out of that marketing message. And then it lands them on a page where I say, thanks for sticking around. Here's some, you may want to check out my Facebook page, or here's some more resources, or whatever the person who's doing the re-engagement campaign wants them to concentrate on. So, yeah. So re-engagement, clean your list, clean your list. If somebody hasn't opened in 9 months, more likely than not, they're not going to open.
Or they change jobs. Like you were talking about moving like people personally, but also like people change jobs every 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
And faster in WordPress.
That's true. That's true.
There's a high turnover in WordPress.
And you also have those people that use, yeah, you have people that use their work email as their personal and only email address. I deal with that all the time.
That's hard too, because are they getting it on their phone?
Right.
They're working. Yeah. Especially with you, you need to be able to get to them on a weekend usually. So, you know, yeah. All right. So that was clean your list and re-engage the people who haven't opened your emails for a while. Send a re-engagement campaign. I do 3 emails over 3 weeks. Get people to re-engage. And always monitor your email reputation. So make sure that your domain name has a squeaky clean. So always opt in, double opt in your subscribers. Tell people what they can expect from your emails in a welcome email so that they're not surprised and go, oh, I don't want this, I'm just going to spam them. Or I'm going to unsubscribe. Because if you get subscribes and then immediate unsubscribes, and you have too many of those, that can be an issue.
Oh.
They take MailChimp, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, GetResponse. They take notice of that. Your unsubscribes cannot be any higher than 5% of your list when you send an email.
So what do you use to be able to determine if your list is, or sorry, if your domain is in good standing with that?
You just look at just Google blacklist. Is my domain blacklisted? That's all I do.
Like an RBL list or something like that, or
I Google, is my domain blacklisted? I don't know.
All right.
I just Google it. And usually there's a bunch of websites that come up and you can put your domain in. And I usually check 3 different of those websites that come up. I check 3 different ones because some of them have different blacklists. And you do have to be careful because sometimes if you're on a server that's shared, it's not your domain that's blacklisted, it's somebody else's domain, but the IP address that your server is at can get blacklisted. So you just, you have to.
This is the bad part about being on shared hosting, which most of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a website like this, which was the first.
Oh, and I still have one that I use on a regular basis.
Yeah, so you just pull it up, do a look real quick here, and Bridget, I was one of those people that I checked real fast before I actually do it. I didn't want to show this up on the screen and be like, my site's screwed up, now what?
Gotta go fix it.
But yeah, so one of these websites, especially MX Toolbox, they've been around forever, and they're a cool company. Yeah, so check them out and do a quick little search just to see how your domain's looking.
And they even suggest how to solve the issues that you're having.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they'll say, put DQ records on. DQ records. You need DQ records. So that's what they say a lot of times. So there you go. We already harped on that. So to not get reported as spam, also send emails on a consistent basis. I can't harp enough to send emails on a consistent basis.
Okay. Do you want to define that?
Whatever you think is consistent. But whatever you tell your group, your list that you're going to send. So in your welcome email, you can tell them, oh, I'm going to send you weekly. I'm going to send you daily. I'm going to send you monthly. I'm going to send you quarterly. I'm going to send you twice a year. I'm going to send you yearly. You tell them, and then you follow through on what you tell them, right? I used to say, I send infrequent emails. That's what I used to say because I just didn't have time to send it myself. So,
Amy, we have a question in the in one of the chats here. This is from Dane Morgan. He says, with some email apps that can block tracking pixels, wouldn't click-throughs be better than opens?
Nope. So there's a lot of reasons why you may not have why open won't register. So on some phones, opens don't register. If people are looking at a preview pane, opens don't register. Because how an open registers is you have to open it, and then there's that little pixel that has to actually get
downloaded.
Yeah, whatever they do to it. So the click-throughs may not be better because do you have click-throughs? Do you have clicks? Some people don't have clicks in their newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, click-throughs are not necessarily a better measure. And then what are they clicking on? If you have 3 or 4 click-throughs, what are they clicking on? So not necessarily a better measure than opens. And if you're getting somebody with 9 months worth of not opens, and you do a re-engagement campaign, and they don't even open the re-engagement campaign, and they don't take that action to click the button in that re-engagement campaign, because if they're opening and they get a re-engagement campaign, they're going to be like, what the heck? I open your stuff all the time. And they're going to email you back, right? And they're going to say, I always open your stuff. So, yeah. Yeah.
I look at the previews a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Wow. What a bummer.
That's their problem, not your problem. But it's also your problem.
Well, it is.
When you send out an email, it's going to be your problem.
Well, the thing about it is like, I'm always kind if I have somebody a client that sends an email, like I'm on a lot of client lists, a client that sends an email, I make sure I go open every single one. I don't necessarily click around, because if I'm not interested, I'm not going to click. That's actually not a good practice. It's kind of like lying, but I always open, and you can just know from now on, hey, I just need to open. So I can't use a preview pane. It makes my brain hurt.
Live and die by it.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, and I used to use it all the time, but
how interesting.
Yeah, makes me crazy. There's just too much information all in one place. It makes my brain just.
Yeah, you don't want to see my desktop then.
Yeah. I have inbox 0.
Wow, that's amazing. I I'm still one of those people. Those are the things I need to deal with. So
Yeah, I get too obsessive and compulsive, and I can't handle that digital clutter.
Yeah.
Right.
Somewhere between the two of you. Somewhere in between. Okay, so we don't want to get reported as spam, so we definitely need to use an email with our domain name that we have verified is really us, and told everybody and their mom that it's really us, all the people that matter, Google, everybody. And we don't.
Yes, my Hotmail email is mine.
Or
Sorry.
whatever. Like there are still people using AOL emails for some reason. And whatever, and Outlook and whatever. So we want to make sure that we send consistent emails, but the double opt-in, because I add people to my list, and then I have a welcome email and says you've been added to this list because you've expressed interest in my products or services. I send an email about once a month, and then I don't always do it because I don't always, like, I haven't done it lately because with COVID, it just it's like, I mean,
or got nothing at all with COVID. Like I got so many emails. I was like, dude, I have not heard from you in 2 years, and all of a sudden I get a COVID email.
Right.
Just not
You're out of here. Yeah.
And then they're telling you about their store that's in like Tennessee, and I'm like, I don't live anywhere near Tennessee. What are you asking me to go to your store for? And I'm not going to go to your store. And it's like,
I do not care about you. I mean, I was hoping your retail store was safe from, germs in general. So,
right.
I mean, like people.
Oh my God, no.
Like, I mean, how many times have you gotten the flu? And I mean, I'm not saying COVID isn't real. I'm saying regular stuff we all get all the time. The flu.
Or just clean the countertop.
Yeah, just clean the countertop. Yeah. Just stop being gross.
Oh my God, I'm the mask in the hand sanitizer. But yeah.
I hear you.
Anyway, so like I don't want to send useless emails. I don't want to get stuck in, but I also don't click spam on things. I just unsubscribe.
Yeah, I do on some of them, and then some of them I'm like, dude, there's a lot that are spam that come through.
Yeah.
There's a lot that are spam. And if you have not emailed me in 2 years, I know I unsubscribed from you because I know I unsubscribed from you. And once a year I go through and I unsubscribe because I sign up to a lot. So I go and unsubscribe for a lot, right? And there's some service that I use. I don't remember what the name is.
Oh my gosh.
Unroll or one of those types of things.
Yes, Unroll, that's it.
Unroll.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I unsubscribed. So I know that I was unsubscribed and then I got the email from them.
Like,
cool.
I'm like, spam, you just changed your email service provider and
didn't carry over your unsubscribes.
And as an aside, for those single ladies who are dating really cute guys in Whittier who are single,
no, I'm married. Sorry.
that guy. Listen, when you block a phone number, just block it. If you delete it, it's not blocked anymore.
No, they can still call.
Yeah. So, because people say, my friends will say, girl, you need to block and delete. No, just block and then keep that number on your phone, because if you delete it, then they can contact you. I had a guy contact me, and I'm pretty easy to find, but I don't usually have stalkers. I just have the Russian hackers who want me to take care of their children. But like, I'll get them from Instagram, and then they'll find me on, all these other messaging platforms. And so when I did that by mistake. I deleted a bunch of numbers. Like, who is this? Delete, 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 delete. Guess what? They all come back. So if you block a phone number, keep it in your phone. Is that true too for email?
So that's like the email reader. I would assume so.
Okay.
I don't know so much about the email readers,
Okay.
but I would assume so, you know?
Yeah. Because it's so easy to be like, I don't want all these people on my phone. I don't want all these addresses. And then you're like, whoa, they're all coming back. Who are they? New phone? Who dis? I'm like,
Well, I could speak a tiny bit into it in that if you leave the contact in there, the contact, there's some things that will look to see if a contact exists, and if a contact exists, then it will allow you to receive that email. The other thing is sometimes you have those services where you send out, where the service will scan your email address for you to like find new friends on some new social network or whatever. And
Yeah.
the last thing you want to have it do is send off an email to the ex-boyfriend or the person you dated, letting them know. So I personally, I would just delete it. I'd hit spam, delete, get them out of your life, and you're done. But
spam, delete for emails, delete and keep for phone numbers.
Yeah, and just change his name to Jerk.
The thing about it is we're talking about blocking.
Right.
Blocking email addresses, not just trashing an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're trashing it, basically. You're throwing it in the trash can,
Okay.
right? We were talking about blocking an email address.
Well, I mean, because some people that I talk to, Gen Pop people, think it's the same thing. That's why I wanted to kind of like differentiate it.
Yeah. No, different.
Girl, you need to delete and block that number. Well,
I have a quick question. So I've been seeing this is a trend that's been bothering me for probably the last year, in that I've been getting these drip campaigns from marketers that they're sending an email as if it's their own email. I go look at the email headers because I know what I'm doing, and I'll see that they're using, some service to send off their emails, and it's coming through, that email reader you're talking about. So because of that, I tell them, hey, I can't unsubscribe to you because there's no unsubscribe footer. So get me off your list. And then, no joke, I get another email from them like a day later because I know how their campaign's set up. And I'll keep sending them emails saying, hey, remove me from your list, remove me from your list. And one time I did the reverse of what all these people do. And I go on LinkedIn and I go find them. And then I send them a message. And I'm like, hey, you're sending me these emails. Can you check to make sure that your email setup is set up correctly and you're making yourself look bad? So what do you say for someone who like that, who's sending off those emails? Because you can't really, you can spam them, hit the spam button and make that happen in that email reader. But outside of that, you don't really have any recourse to like tell their system to stop sending you an email.
Well, it's against the law for them to send you an email without a subscribe button. So hit the spam.
Yep.
If they do not give you the option, hit the spam, because they need to be penalized for not following the law. Oh dear, I sound like they need to go have a timeout in the corner. But
right.
Maybe they do.
Militant on my emails.
Well, against the law, it's privacy. It's it's the whole GDPR thing with websites. We have a right to say we don't want you to have our data.
Right.
Now we have 5,000 cookies every time pop-ups every time we go to a website, which is so annoying, and a totally different episode. But so a lot of times in Gmail, it'll say unsubscribe, or sometimes it'll say, you haven't been opening emails from this person. Would you like to unsubscribe? That's something I've really enjoyed about Gmail's reader.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I must open a lot of emails.
You have to have the reading pane open. How about that? We'll just say that's what that needs to be the case.
I just go click, 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 delete, and then I click and I go mark as unread, but I haven't read it yet. But I can't have it. I can't have the alert. But I want to read that email from Mark Manson because it's helpful to me right now in my life. But I don't have time to read it today, so don't show me that I have an unread email. I'll read it when I want to read it, damn it. Like, that's me.
Oh, see, I can't have unread emails.
Okay, so
let's transition.
We're going to transition.
Let's talk about our tool or tip of the week. Before we do that, let's talk about the our sponsor for our tool or tip of the week, Cloudways.
Whether it's an existing website or a project on your drawing board, Cloudways offers a hosting environment with all the features you need to succeed online. Cloudways extends your in-house team, takes care of all the server management issues, and lets you focus on building amazing websites for your online business. Start a 3-day free trial at cloudways.com. That's cloudways.com.
Reiteration, Bridget, reiteration.
Reiteration.com.
Cloudways.com.
No, seriously, I went to I was listening to ESPN yesterday, and I heard about mancrate.com, and I was like, this is perfect timing because I need something to send to my stepdad for Father's Day, which is the 20th. And I found this really cool toolbox with a bunch of different exotic beef jerkies, but not all beef, venison, and weird stuff. And then they're like, and you can get 20% off if you go to mancrate.com/streaming.
I have one right over here.
Streaming, mancrate.com/streaming. And I was like, that's how you do a radio ad. So if you guys want to sponsor our show, we will edit the script you give us so that we will live read it. But my tool or tip of the week is something I've talked about before, but I've used it so much lately. I'm talking about it again. WordHTML.com. Super simple. Okay. So if I like to do, I like to write in Google Docs. It's better for collaboration and sharing and that kind of thing. But also it's kind of like having a backup. And I find I have been writing more. I originally used to just write on my blog.
It has a paper book.
Isn't that funny? What Clippy? It's just ridiculous. I got to come back. I've seen like 5 Clippy memes.
Yeah, like he's right there. I couldn't see him. I'd make the ad go away, but you can see him now.
Funny. Anyway, so the thing is, when you copy and paste from a Google Doc into your WordPress blog, there's span codes, unless you're using the new WordPress editor 5.0 and above, which is called Gutenberg. But most of my sites that I work on for clients have the classic editor installed. So if you are working on a site that has the native editor in WordPress 5.0 and above, which is called Gutenberg, then cut and paste from Google Docs, no problem. It's spanless. It takes out the spans. It's the best thing about Gutenberg. But if you're like me and you have Classic Editor installed, you can't do that. So instead, I paste it into Word HTML, and then I go to the HTML part, and I go and I click Clean Code, and then I copy and paste it, and then I paste it back in my text editor of my blog, say the preview, boom, all my headings and everything's the way I want it. Yeah.
Okay, you know that if you were on the visual area and you highlight the whole thing and you do the clean, it would take the spans out?
Yeah.
Editor.
No.
In the WordPress editor.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it does.
In the old one?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I can't do that.
Sorry. Just
How much for that?
tool.
I mean, whatever works.
The tip of the week.
I
It's
did
WordPress.
it for a drip campaign that I edited, a 24 drip campaign. Like I said, I don't put it in the email program, but I will edit the copy. But I had to turn the copy in as HTML, so I used that tool.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Wow,
So-
turn it in as HTML. That's good.
I mean, that was what the client wanted. I'm not in their program, but they didn't want a Google Doc. They gave me the HTML I had to download Sublime, which I paid for, and it's awesome.
Sublime's fun stuff. I
Okay.
like Sublime.
That's it. That's all I got.
I like them too.
I'm not gonna break your brain explaining some really cool stuff you can do with it, but it has some superpowers.
And aren't they from Orange County? They're like from Westminster, aren't they?
The band is, yeah, but Sublime Text is.
I know. It was supposed to be a joke.
Oh, that's funny. Amy, it's not summertime. Otherwise, I'd start singing their version of Summertime.
Exactly.
Yeah. And my son's name is Louis, and he always talks about his Lou dog. And I was always like, oh, no, that's my Lou.
That's so funny. Do you have a tool tip for us besides this awesomeness? Do you have a freebie you want to give us and a tool?
Oh, I have freebie. If you want, I have a slide deck that I present this talk on. So if you want the slide deck, just email me and I'll send you the slide deck. I should have it as a blog post, shouldn't I? So you could go down and I could get your email address and blah, blah, blah. Now just email me, amy@amyhall.biz. And I actually do have a tool. So I tried a new email validation service where it cleans your emails and it gets rid of those spam traps that you have on your list. And it's called Kickbox, and it worked really well. And I've been using one for a long time, and the last time I used it, it was not good. So yeah, Kickbox. I don't know why they called it Kickbox. It's kind of weird, but
there's always so many domain names.
Maybe they're into MMA.
Yeah.
Just
Pricing wise, they're not bad.
No, they're not bad at all. They're
only $25 for 2,500.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the cheapest I've seen.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So when they clean, what does that mean? They remove the parked ones?
So they look at how old an email address is, if it's been opened in the last, in a certain time frame, if it's being used. They look at soft bounces, hard bounces, that kind of stuff. So
cool.
So does this tie into to your whoever you're using for sending out your emails, or do you do this before you import your emails?
I think it does tie in, but I never tie it in.
Oh, okay.
Because I do it for clients.
Gotcha.
So I just don't. I usually have their list, so I just upload their list and then put only the clean stuff in, because I don't like having that dirtiness in the account.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So they give you a CSV, you upload it, you get a new CSV, and then they can send it to their. Okay, cool.
Yes, and the thing about it is it doesn't. The account doesn't get pinged that you have bad email addresses in it, so you don't have a ding against you, because it's not really a ding, but it is a ding. They're going to be watching you because you have bad email addresses. So yeah.
Like it's all, they're alerted to you.
Yes.
So you
they're
really don't want
they're like,
to be like somebody's mom. Okay, Jason, what? Somebody's getting email over there.
No, actually, it's my assistant going, hey, you need to do this and that.
You're like, I'm streaming on the internet right now.
I did let her know before.
Oh, man. So mine. I've been working for a couple different folks and needing to be able to keep track of my time of the different things that I'm doing. In my at work, I've been dealing with time tracking of various projects that a staff member will give me this thing. I call it like an internal customer. I deal with them and I need to make sure everything's working correctly, but I also want to respect my time as well as respect like the project's time as well. So it's like I need to kind of work through these things. And so I've been working with and this is the wrong product before I send it or show it to you, nope, that's not it either. So let me see here. Let me pull it up real fast before I share this thing. So the it's an iPhone app.
Oh.
And oh man, it's not doing it. All right, here we go. It's an iPhone app, and what it does is it darn, it's not loading. Let me check real quick here. Sorry, I had this open way before, and then I closed it and didn't have it set up here. So what it is it's a time tracker. And the time tracker is set up so that I can keep track of the different projects that I'm working on. And I can look to see if I should be working on a particular project or not, or any of that. And so I've been using this thing called Timerly.
Oh,
But it's not, unfortunately, like that name, like I don't know the domain name for it. I'm sorry, folks.
okay.
Frustrating. Let me see if I can get it to load up here. So I've been using this thing called Timerly, and what Timerly does is it makes it so that, oh, it's because I'm writing it wrong. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, let's try that again. So what this thing does is it works for this software called Toggle, and I'm gonna pull it up. And so what I like about Toggle is it lets me be able to keep track of the different times for the different projects I'm doing. But Toggle's interface on the Mac as well as on their website really sucks. I'm not a fan of it. But this Timery app made by this guy named Timery. Yeah, Timery.
Names with no vowels.
Yeah, exactly. And Toggle as well as Toggl. So Toggle's a great service to be able to kind of manage your time on various projects that you're working on. You can set a timer. The timer will play through, and then you'll be able to see like what projects you're actually working on and what time entries you have for those projects. And then you can, essentially run a report off of it and say, okay, client A, here's how long it took me to work on this thing. Works on the iPhone as well as the iPad. A lot of the podcasts that I listen to that do time management type of stuff on their podcasts, they've been requesting to have iPhone app, or sorry, a watch app, so you could be able to do it off of your watch. They don't have that set up just yet, but being able to do this and using this particular app with Toggle. So Toggle itself is its own thing that you'd need to set up. So if you go to Toggle, it's free time tracking. You can go in here and kind of set everything up and be able to use this. And then if you go and download and buy this this particular plugin or this particular app for the iPhone, you'll be able to use this. There also are some for Android as well, but it just makes it so that you can use Toggle without Toggle's kind of horrible interface. And it just makes it so you can run everything through this. And even the guy from Toggle is like, yeah, my interface isn't the greatest, but at least with this on your phone, you can just do everything straight through the phone, and it's like super simple, nice and easy. So yeah, go check them out. Timery and Toggle. Those are the two that I would recommend.
Nice.
Too bad it doesn't work on the watch. People love that thing.
Yeah, I use my watch for darn near everything.
The only thing that bugs me, and I will say this because I'm old, the only thing that bugs me about people with their watches, the iPhone watches, because I have very many friends that have them, is that a lot of times they'll be going like this.
It's a boredom indicator, yeah.
No, something's going on, and they need to look at it. I get it, but when people do this, I think they got something better to do.
Yep.
I mean, like they need to leave. It's just ingrained in me because of my age, and I do it. And I haven't worn a watch since I started. Like, okay, so I haven't learned. Since I started playing guitar, which I haven't played in forever, but since I started playing guitar in like 2000, so 20 years I haven't watched. And I still go like, and what time is it, everybody? Right? I wear a watch when I'm speaking, but when people are going like this, subconsciously you think, oh my gosh, I need to leave. The time is up. Isn't that a funny thing? But I know like consciously they just got an email and they gotta just check it, or the thing is telling them to stand up because they do what their watch says. Isn't that a funny thing? It's a weird.
My watch is my boss. I have to do what it says.
Well,
Amy, I want to wrap up. So Amy, can you tell us where people can find you and how they can be able to send you an email so that they can get added into your list?
Gotta wrap it up.
So my website is amyhall.biz, B-I-Z, not .com. It was already taken. And my email address is amy@amyhall.biz.
Awesome. We'll make sure we get people sent over there, and we'll make sure it's also in our show notes too. So thank you very much, Amy, for being on the show with us. I'm now going to play our outro. Here we go. Go support us over on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/WPwatercooler. Here's the folks that helped us out this week. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy this content, hit subscribe. Click the little bell to be notified when we do go live. And guess what? We have another show coming up here in just an hour. So go over to WPwatercooler.com/subscribe where you can learn where you can find that. Talk to y'all later. You have a good one. Bye-bye.